Welcome to episode 9 of Bar of City. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. Yeah, this is episode 9, isn't it? Yeah. Next
Yep.
episode would be 10. Wow.
We'll give it up. Second episode of the new year.
So, according to the analytics and stuff, so far our last episode hasn't done too hot in views, but well, hopefully it'll grow a little bit.
If it does, it does.
Yeah. It's all good.
We're sitting here and having a January snow day. Woo!
January snow day. Oh, yeah, it's January. I forgot what month it was.
Dude, you're literally your favorite holiday is New Year's.
Yeah, but once it's like the second, like it's already over. It's like, yeah, that's over. Really, in all honesty, once it's the first, it's already over in my mind. Once that clock rolls over to midnight, I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
The sad thing about it is the amount of dates we write at our job, and you still forget it.
Yeah, I think it's because I've gotten so used to writing dates. It's kind of become like, what's the word? Like, I don't know what the word is for it, but like I've just gotten so used to writing down dates. It's like my brain just doesn't even really think about what date it is anymore. So
It just knows automatically when I'm writing on this piece of paper, I write this date.
Yeah. To me, it's like I'm just seeing it as a number now. I'm not really thinking about what date it is. So I'm just like, yeah, that's my brain. Like when I'll be looking and like, wait, what's today's date? It's like, really, I'm like, what's the number say on the paper? I'll look over. I'm not really thinking about like, oh, it's January, you know.
Like, oh, it's the first one of the year.
1/14/24. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds about right.
So anything exciting happened over your weekend so far?
Not really. I attempted to make a slushie for the first time yesterday at my house in my blender.
How'd that go?
It turned out pretty good, actually. It wasn't quite as I guess when you get a slushie like from a place, they probably add a lot more sugar to it. But like I tried to make one where you just like put like a fruit slushie, you put like frozen fruit and ice and water in it, and
yeah,
it's like it wasn't quite as sweet as I expected it to be, but I was just like, well, I guess, when you get a slushie at a place, they probably add a lot of sugar to it because it makes it tasty.
syrup.
Yeah, or something like that. And I didn't really think, but it was still good, I will admit. It just wasn't as sweet as I expected it to be.
Because all the slushy is shaved ice with some kind of flavored syrup poured over it.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of brings me to a question. Like, I've debated about this with other people before. Like, some people say there's a difference between like a slushy, an icy, and a Slurpee. And I'm like, I think they're all the same thing with just different names, but some people say there's a difference to them. And I'm like, is there?
Well, the difference if there's like a Slurpee, a slushy, and what was the third one?
An icy. Some people might call it a freezy. I've seen some places call it that.
I don't know. Like the texture is still the same. It's still the same type of ice used.
I've had all three different versions, and they all seem, or supposedly all three different versions, they all seem roughly the same to me. So, but they claim there's a difference. I've heard people claim there's a difference, and I'm like, oh, well, if there is, I'm unaware of it.
Yeah, I mean, like we gotta think because I don't think there is actually that much really a difference because they're all.
I will say the ones you can get at Sonic, like those slushies at Sonic, the ice is a bit different than some other places, because some other places have that softer ice. It almost is like that same ice you get like with a snow cone, like that real soft kind of shaved ice. But
And
then
icy
the ones you get at Sonic though has like that teeny tiny little like chip kind of ice. I don't really know how else to explain it, but
yeah, just like their main ice, just
yeah,
like their
I think they
blender.
just kind of blend it down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, a Slurpee is the same product as an icy, but sold under a private label trademark.
Oh, so it's a brand name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Slurpee's only a 7-Eleven thing.
Oh, that's probably where people get that name. It's kind of like how people call all tissues just Kleenexes, even though that's a brand name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're the same things, just the difference in the flavors is all because
I mean, sure, there might be, like I said, with the whole Sonic thing, and I'm sure there's probably some other places if I were to like lay them side by side and compare, I would probably pick up a couple of differences, but is it really enough where I could give it a whole new name? I don't know. I guess I don't.
No, it's not enough.
Yeah.
It all just depends on how fine the ice is. It's all literally just typically finely
Yeah,
ground
just
up ice.
fine shaved ice with like syrup in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, there's a Freezy and all that. They're just that's what they are.
Yeah. I like the Coca-Cola ones sometimes. I go to some fast food places have a Coca-Cola Icy or Freezy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I don't like them because like unless you get a massive one. Because for me,
Yeah, fast food places are bad about like making the cups too small. So because and you can drink them up in like no time because mostly ice, you know. I only get them every once in a while. It's not something I like to get on a common occurrence. So
well, if I'm on a trip and for some reason I go out to a different place that has a 7-Eleven, I do kind of make an extra stop to get one for 7-Eleven because they have the massive cups.
yeah,
So you can get a big ass cup of it.
yeah. I've actually never had one at 7-Eleven before.
But the reason 7-Elevens are typically so good is because the chain itself has their own recipe for the syrup,
Mm-hmm.
for the flavoring that goes into it, whether it be a syrup or just some kind of liquid.
Yeah, so it's not just some generic syrup being thrown in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a different. Would be the only difference. Would be the chemical makeup of the recipe for whatever liquid goes into the ice.
Yeah.
So you can get difference in flavors for sure. You can get one. You can take two different cherry drinks from this one company versus this other company of icy, Slurpee, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
One would be better. It could be better than the other. Just one did better cherry than the other. And to your preference, one might be a less sweet, less filled with sugar cherry flavored.
Yeah.
One might be more bitter or whatever. It's just they're the same. In the end, they're just the flavor's different.
Yeah.
And that's only company to company. But that's why most people do slushies at Sonic is because Sonic has a really good recipe for their slushies.
Plus, you can get like a Route 44 size slushy, you know, and it'll actually last you a while. Unlike some of the other places, like, you know, with the smaller cups, because some of them they have specific cups for their ices, and they are so much smaller than their regular cups. So,
yeah. To me, the only slushies I like from like Sonic sometimes is like the nerd slushies because the nerds for some reason causes it to be less icy.
yeah.
So I get a lot more.
My mom makes fun of those all the time. Yeah, I used to get slushies all the time at Sonic when they had two flavors they had that I loved, which was green apple and watermelon. Because I love the artificial taste of watermelon. I don't know what the ingredients are for it, but I love that artificial taste of it. And I don't like watermelon, but I like watermelon flavored stuff because I like artificial watermelon.
Well, the
And
thing is, like, artificial watermelon versus regular watermelon is regular watermelon just has a slight watermelon taste, but it tastes watered down.
yeah, and that's probably why I don't like. I also don't really like the texture of watermelon either. It has that stringy texture to it that I don't really like. So, but yeah, so I always got those flavors, but then they got rid of them. So now, but I do like the Powerade Slush. That one's good too, but I don't like it as much, so I only get it every once in a while. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting better though with their flavors and what
yeah,
you can do with things.
I remember the day I found out they were ran out of them because even the Sonic worker there, she even agreed with me when I was ordering on there. I was just like, "Well, can I get a watermelon?" Because watermelon was my favorite of all the favorites. So I was like, "Can I get a watermelon, an extra large watermelon slushy?" And she was like, "Oh, they don't do that flavor anymore." And she was like, "And before you asked for green apple, that we don't do that one anymore either." I was like, "Oh, I was just about to ask for that." She was like, "I know. And those were the two best flavors. I don't know why they got rid of them." I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, places do that, and then they might bring it back a couple years later for a
Yeah.
limited time. And always that right there is a concept that pisses me off.
Like seasonal items. Yeah.
I hate seasonal items.
Yeah.
Like holiday flavor stuff is different because,
Right.
well,
That makes sense. Yeah.
me, I only want like a pumpkin pie stuff during like Halloween to Christmas.
Right.
Like I love pumpkin pie, but I'm not going to go and make me a pumpkin pie in the middle of summer. It doesn't taste the same to me. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not the right time
Yeah.
for it. Like
Excuse
I
me.
won't drink anything peppermint until it's a hot winter time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like peppermint stuff very much.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really like peppermint stuff, but never really associated that with the holiday. Guess that makes sense.
Well, candy canes are just a
Well,
version of
people eat peppermints all the time, no?
yeah. But just the candy cane slash peppermint flavored stuff will be like really popular in the holidays season.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of stuff I'm okay with, like a special holiday thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that at
Every
least makes
holiday
sense.
comes around only once a year, but that's still enough time because from things from October to hell, a lot of times they push it even past January. You have access to it, so that's a good amount of time. So you only have about a little over half the year without it. But this, like, oh, I'm back for a limited time only. Won't be back for another couple of years.
Yeah.
Because the reason I don't like that is that became a big thing when they start realizing, oh, well, our holiday stuff sells really well. This is people's favorite stuff right here. What if we try making that just limited time and see how much we sell of it?
Yeah.
And people go crazy to get their temporarily of their favorite thing from that place because it's
Oh, yeah.
what they want to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, because when that seasonal item comes in, people go in and just buy the crap out of that stuff.
Yeah, because it's something they're not going to get very often.
Right. Especially if it's something they don't bring back, but like you said, once every couple of years, because they're like, well, Lord only knows when this will be back, so we better buy it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get like 80 of them.
Well, hell, it's like Szechuan chicken sauce at McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know which one that is, but yeah.
That got brought back because of it's done before Mulan. If I remember correctly, when the cartoon Mulan came out. And then Rick and Morty made a whole episode where Rick was wanting some. And McDonald's brought it back temporarily just because of Rick and Morty and the popularity got put on that episode.
That's funny.
And people were buying it in bulk, dude. Like they're buying just that sauce to take home and store.
Save this
Look
for
it
later.
up. Look it up, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so, and the thing is, you can't stop that because people are like, well, a typical thing is you can vote with your wallet. You don't like something, you just don't buy it, and it's gone, right?
Right. They see that, people evidently don't want this. Yeah.
For the most time, there are some times where the companies are like, I don't give a fuck what you really want. I want to put this out there. Yeah, there are those times. But like these items that they know people do want.
Yeah.
And plus, if you just stop buying it, they just will stop doing it in general, and you won't ever get it again.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose for the consumer because we'll just have to keep waiting until they fucking decide to bring it back temporarily to get it. And they'll pick an item that is so fucking popular.
Yeah.
And they'll wait until this one item gets to this certain popularity level, and then it becomes seasonal.
Yeah.
Or a limited time thing.
Yeah, there's some items I don't really understand why they're even a seasonal item. Like they could easily keep it on the menu all year long.
Yeah.
Like the McRib for McDonald's, they're always like bringing that back and taking it away. But I was like, they could easily just be a menu item. It's popular enough. So, but for some reason, they just want to make it a seasonal item. And there might be something to do with maybe the type of way they have to construct it. I don't know the whole details behind it.
So with the McRib, the company that they buy it from, they're made quick, just like their patties.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they can jack up the price of it and sell a ton of it, making it a seasonal thing, knowing people love it.
They buy it when it's cheaper or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
they have to make it slightly cheaper.
Right.
And then they also can do that for a limited time. Plus, if you buy two, you get this much off.
Right. Well, of course, people are going to buy two because Lord knows when they're going to bring it back.
Yeah. And I get two. I get one for half price if I buy two. Huh? That's a good deal in my head. No,
I don't want to lose money on this. I'll get like 60 of them.
Yeah. The consumer are idiots. The consumers are idiots, realistically.
Yeah. Taco Bell doesn't really have a whole lot of seasonal items, but they are really bad about swapping items out on their menu. Like out of nowhere, they will just completely take an item off their menu, even though it's selling pretty well, and they won't bring it back until like years later. And then they'll introduce random new items. They're constantly like throwing out old items and swapping them out with new items. So, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It's not because that item is selling bad or they think this one will sell better. They're just doing it just for the heck of it, it seems like.
Well, it's actually what helps Taco Bell in some aspects.
Yeah.
It kind of pisses me off because there's things they've gotten rid of that I want, like their country crunch wrap, which granted, I don't want it as much anymore because me and my wife just started making our own.
Yeah.
Because we know what's in it, so we just started making it ourselves when we want one. But I've been craving that. All right, we'll just go put it on the groceries list and buy it, and we'll have it one of the weekends. We'll cook it up.
Yeah.
Because everything at Taco Bell, I mean, actually, almost everything at every restaurant, you can just do at home.
Yeah, especially fast food restaurants. So,
like, I know, like, all you have to do is literally buy one and then just reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Ain't hard. You just
heck, you could look up the ingredients. Yeah, you could look up the ingredients online. They're usually on there, and then just be like, okay, it's got this, this, and this. So yeah, I can make that. Yeah.
Yeah, the day that somebody figured out how to do McDonald's Big Mac sauce, they spread that all around.
I've never been a big fan of their Big Mac sauce. It's not bad, but it's not like something I'm like, I don't think it's like finger looking good either. It's just like, okay. So,
Speaking of that kind of saying, finger looking good, so that's a KFC saying, filling around with chicken. I tried Popeyes for the first time the other day.
really? You never had Popeyes till the other day?
No.
Wow.
In the northeast part of Arkansas, Popeyes ain't a popular thing up there.
Yeah. Well, y'all have Jolly Bees or something?
No. We don't have Jollibee. Yeah, where I'm at, there was not a lot of chicken options for a long time.
Oh, really?
And when I went around other states and stuff, I tried more local stuff than just a fast food chain.
Yeah.
So I seen Popeyes, like, I haven't had Popeyes yet, it's just chicken. It's just fried chicken, whatever.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, it's not just fried chicken, it's damn good fried chicken. It's Louisiana style.
Right.
Yeah, but I was just in New Orleans like a month ago eating actual home
The actual
cooked.
real Louisiana fried chicken. Yeah.
It's nothing special to me.
Yeah.
But I keep hearing everyone talking about like we had some one of our contractors that came in, they're constantly, one of them apparently is constantly going to Popeyes and getting the chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it. I'm like, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just go ahead and eat Popeyes. I've eaten all the other chicken fast food places. And I finally did. It's good.
Yeah.
The chicken sandwiches are pretty damn good. I mean,
Yeah.
But like, I don't know where to compare it to like other places.
Yeah. That's pretty much my opinion about Popeyes. I think it's really good. The best chicken I've ever had. No, I wouldn't go that far, but I do think it's good. So,
Okay, best fast food chicken.
yeah. It depends on my mood. Best fast food, especially if you're talking about chicken on a bone. I would say I kind of like KFC's if it's extra crispy. Like I don't like the original recipe as much. But I don't know if I would put that at number one either. I mean, their chicken is kind of greasy a little bit for my liking, but
I will say Popeyes does beat KFC for the most aspect because it wasn't greasy.
yeah,
At least I might
it
have just
definitely feels like Popeyes has more care into their chicken than KFC. Just kind of feels like they're just slapping it together. Like the flavors are good, but it just doesn't really feel like they're trying that hard. If you know what I mean. When you get it, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. But Popeyes kind of feels like more like they're trying. So
yeah. But the thing is, I need to get, because I had just tried their chicken sandwich. Of course, I had to try their fries and a couple of their desserts and their basic chicken.
Yeah.
But I need to try their nuggets and their strips because for me, that's a deal breaker.
I've actually never had their nuggets or their strips, so I have no idea how those are.
Because for me, like if I go to like Zaxby's or Slim Chicken,
yeah,
a lot of what I get is their chicken strips or chicken sandwiches.
Right. Well, that's pretty much all they have is chicken strips, so and chicken sandwiches. And I think they have those boneless wings. I think so.
Yeah. And I don't like wings unless they're boneless.
I like bone-in wings, but it's not my favorite part of the chicken.
I don't like bone-in wings if they're like homemade bone-in wings.
Yeah. I prefer the thighs. But to me, that's where all the flavor is.
Yeah. But yeah, chicken strips are a big one because everyone does chicken strips.
Yeah.
Always
with Zaxby's is I like their chicken, but their soda is terrible in my opinion. I don't like any of their fountain drinks. Yeah, they're terrible, and they're really kind of particular on their sauce. Every time I ask for more Zaxby sauce, they're like, "Oh, we can't give you any more without charging you for it." And I was just like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
So
Well,
sometimes I'll go to Slim Chickens more often because of that. Because Slim Chickens their Cokes are way better, and even their chicken's not quite as good as Zaxby's, or at least in my opinion. But their Cokes are way better, and they give you more sauce.
the thing I like about Slim Chicken over Zaxby's, just like they do better for their customers.
Yeah,
Their chicken is all right. It's edible for sure.
yeah,
It's not
it's
bad.
good, but it's nothing like amazing. Yeah,
But now their jar desserts are fucking delicious.
no, I never had any of those.
Oh, they're good.
It's actually
They
very rare that I eat
These
dessert. So
mason jars. Like we actually washed ours and put them up to store stuff in.
that's what I do with the cups at Slim Chickens. There's such good cups. I'll keep them for a while, and then if I ever don't feel like washing one, then I'll just throw it away.
Yeah, because they're good solid cups.
Yeah,
But
they're not like these flimsy plastic ones. They're actually a good cup. So
yeah, but their sides are pretty good.
yeah,
They just lackluster on most of the chicken stuff.
yeah.
For a place called, well, I guess it's called Slim Chicken.
I never really fully understood that name. Were they trying to insinuate that you'll slim down if you eat there? Or are they trying to insinuate that it's the chicken is slim? I don't know. I'm not sure what they're insinuating with that name.
They don't really have much of a menu.
Or is that name just a gimmick to try to get people to fool people into wanting to eat there?
Probably.
Like, oh, Slim Chickens, let's eat there.
That sounds
All these
cool.
soccer moms pulling in. Oh, Slim Chickens.
I don't feel as guilty eating their
Yeah.
chicken.
I don't feel nearly as bloated when I eat at Slim Chicken because it's Slim Chicken.
We're gonna have a soccer mom listen to this fucking. So just eat.
I just took that personally. Yeah.
And you know
I
what?
just
To
had
that
some
person,
chickens yesterday. Thank you very much. Yeah.
To that person, I say, on this podcast, we give no fucks.
No, not really. Especially about soccer moms. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, we've got enough episodes that I care less about offending people.
Well, I won't go out of my way to offend people, but if I say something that offends somebody, well, that's your fault, not mine. You got offended.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, because as we talked about like earlier episodes, I was very like trying not to fully voice my opinion on things
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh no, that'll definitely offend people. But now I'm thinking, like, you know what? Who cares? If what I've said offended you, it's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I am out in public. But like, I wanted to be more cordial for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. The Barf City podcast.
Oh yeah.
So, did you do anything interesting this weekend so far?
Well, I played a couple video games, exercised a little.
Exercise. That's bad for you.
Oh yeah. And then I got hookers and blow.
Well, that's good for you. I'm glad you did that.
No, not really. I didn't do anything special.
Yeah.
Just been enjoying the it's barely any snow out there. People have so fucking crazy.
Well, this is Arkansas, Eric. Everybody freaks out if you got one little piece of powder on the ground. They're like, "Oh, Armageddon! Gotta stay indoors or run to the store, get eggs, milk, and butter, and then stay indoors."
Bro, they literally. My wife came home yesterday on lunch, and people have bought every heat lamp in Atwoods.
That doesn't surprise me.
He said they have a whole list at the register
Yeah.
of things that are now gone because people bought it all.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Also, it was entertaining yesterday because apparently a woman pretty much got herself fired yesterday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What in the
They
world
caught
she
her on
do?
camera. This
Yeah.
is okay. Normally, I wouldn't attack someone. I don't know her name, anyways. But
Yeah.
this is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
She literally apparently caught her on camera, sticking her hands out in front of her pants, scratching, and then
Oh my
touching the
God.
money with the register.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she kept doing it. She kept scratching and then
Just right there in front of everybody?
right there at the fucking register.
Jeez. I mean, I've had an itch before, but if it's that big of an emergency, I would ask to go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
If it's like one of those itches where you're like, holy crap, I got an itch really freaking bad.
If you're itching that much, especially down there, you need to wash your shit. Like, my balls and stuff don't start itching to the point where
Wait,
I'm
you're
like,
supposed to watch that? I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Smart ass. But
Honestly, we'd probably be disgusted and surprised on how many people don't really wash their area, so like at all. So.
like, I've gained weight since high school,
Yeah.
but like under my belly has never stunk.
Yeah.
And it irritates me because there's a kid growing up in the high school. Like, I typically don't pick on people. That's not my thing. Like, I might nitpick at you and fuck with you, but typically it's because you're my friend. And I don't do it to just random person that's not my friend. I don't just, attack them for something.
Yeah.
But this guy stunk. And we couldn't figure out, but we finally came to figure out he never washes under his belly.
Yeah, really?
He was a heavy-set dude. And the reason we found out is because of the girl he was dating.
Girl he was dating.
He got with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was nasty herself, but
oh, so her standards were low too.
Yeah, so they were dating, but apparently that weren't low enough to. She said he lifted up his stomach to scratch, and she could smell it.
Jeez.
And she looked over, and it's just gunk all under his belly fat.
Ew. That's bacteria building up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, man, you gotta wash there, bro. Because like it was a different stink. Because when your armpit stinks, that smell. That's a specific smell.
Yeah. But this was like, something completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, it had a little bit of yeastiness to it. And I'm like, why does he smell like that every time he walks past me? I just like if you say your water got shut off at your house or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been a couple of days since it's been shut off, and you're starting to stink a little bit. Yeah, I can get over that.
Yeah.
Or like my cousin's case, he's a truck driver. Not every time can he stop at a truck stop that has a shower.
Right.
And there's certain situations. It's okay if you stinks, whatever. Just when you get a chance, just go take a shower. If you're typically an average clean person,
right.
If someone has access to it and just doesn't keep themselves clean,
right? That's a whole nother level. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of the few types of people that absolutely disgust me.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, even if you wash it, at least, every few days, you should be okay. Unless you're like someone who just sweats a lot. But even then, you'll just smell kind of sweaty, not really like gross, yeasty smell.
Yeah. Well, there's also another situation like one of our old coworkers who had left. Some people naturally have. I can't remember what thing what it's called, but it causes them to actively sweat more and stink more.
Yeah.
But
And
even
that's
people like that
I've smelled
actively
people that were sweaty and it smells like, has that traditional BO smell, and that's okay. I can work with that. So,
Yeah. That's like, okay, I know you were clean. You took a
right.
shower.
You took a shower. You just sweated a lot today. Yeah. So,
Yeah. That's a different story.
yeah.
But if every day you're near and you just smell like just utter trash,
I just said the word
and
sweated.
and you're not homeless, if you're homeless and or you're down in your luck like that, like I get that.
Oh, if you're homeless, getting clean is like the least of your problems. You have a whole other list of problems to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can handle people with that because it's situational.
Yeah.
But if you're just dirty because you're just dirty, just because you don't want to clean yourself, I can't stand you.
Yeah.
There are people who would love to have your luxury and would probably utilize your luxury 10 times more than you.
Yeah.
That you just squander the fact, oh, you have soap, hot water. Wash your fucking ass. I'm a very much a situational hater.
Yeah.
Depends on the situation a person is. Depends on if I'll hate them for something that I normally dislike. Like something like we've talked before. I can't stand mouth noises when you eat.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, but if say you had gotten in a car wreck and your nose has been broken and it's all cast up, I'm going to deal with your eating noises because you're going to make it because you can't breathe through your nose. Or if you're sick, I accept that.
Yeah. You can't breathe too well. Yeah, kind of have to open your mouth as you eat. Yeah.
Yeah, I accept those. Or like if you're eating something extremely crunchy.
Yeah.
Situational. But if you're just the type of person that likes to just, I'm going to punch you in your fucking jaw.
To me, it doesn't bother me unless it's like really over the top. And you can tell that when someone's like overly smacking, that does irritate me a little bit. But like the chewing sounds, those don't bother me at all. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I call myself a situation hater.
Yeah. I think to me, just with stuff like that, it's the extremity for me. Yeah. The more extreme it is, the more it's probably going to get under my skin. But if it's like standard or mild, like I usually don't even notice most of the time.
You don't notice a lot of things most of the time.
Yeah, well, I like to live in my own universe in my head. It's a lot safer and easier to handle, than the real world is. I just made myself sound like a clinically depressed person.
Yeah, you do sound like that.
Reminds me of a stand-up comedian. I like Jim Gaffigan. He makes all these jokes about like eating all the time and wanting to sleep all day and be lazy. And one of his friends called him out for it one time, and he was like, "You do realize those are all the signs of a depressed person?" He was like, "What, really?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Dude, I hate this going down in the teens and lower weather because I have to turn up my heat more, which I got a gas heat, so it completely dries out my sinuses.
Oh yeah, I don't even have mine on, so I feel fine.
Oh, because my house has too many.
Oh yeah, I've lived in houses like that. Have a lot of open cracks and holes and stuff. Yeah. You gotta put that stuff on it, whatever that stuff is called.
Yeah. The biggest problem though for this house is its ceiling heat.
Yeah.
Not floor vents.
Oh yeah, so your floor stays real cold. Yeah.
Because the hot air rises, and if it's blowing,
yeah, it's already up there. Yeah.
Going right back up.
Yeah.
So I've actually had to turn it up to like 78 degrees in here just to start to warm up the floor slightly.
Well, mine are ceiling vents, and the heat works pretty well in here, but I do only have a one-bedroom apartment. A lot easier to heat and cool
Well,
off.
your apartment's also like,
It's insulated pretty well too. Yeah.
well, not just that, is your floor is laid concrete,
Yeah.
whereas mine is right above the ground quite a bit. You can actually crawl up under my house.
Mm-hmm. Like crawl.
And so the wind is actually up under my house.
Yeah. I always kind of felt like concrete floors were colder than like wood floors, but maybe it is the other way around.
Well, you can have, if you're, so, well, it also depends on how high your floor is set.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
If you have a higher setting floor, because cold air drops, cold air sinks. So it sinks down below and it gets up under your house.
Yeah.
If I was to go up under my house right now, I'd be fucking frozen.
Yeah.
And that just eventually travels, through the boards getting colder. It eventually just freezes the entire bottom. Because like I can touch my walls, they're nice. They're at a good temp. But I touch my floor, it's cold as fuck. And it also doesn't help that because the way my floor has, because I have a major soft spot.
Yeah.
The way it looks like somebody just put plywood.
Oh, really?
And where it's sinking in is where the plywood isn't actually connected to each other. It's a different piece of plywood. And it's just sinking off of away from the other plywood piece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like the point, it makes a line in my carpet. So you can see where it's sunken in and how it's spreading. You just watch the carpet line go further.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so the walls are nice insulated, but the floor is not.
Yeah. My heat's not really the greatest anyway. It doesn't work all that well, but I never need to turn it on that much, so I'm usually fine with it. So if I did, I would.
Not only mostly those apartment complexes are decently insulated, but also I'm sure your neighbors have their heat on.
That's true. So I could be pulling some heat from them too. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bedroom
want some heat or cold air from your neighbors in apartment complexes.
My bedroom tends to stay the coldest. It's probably because it's one of the few rooms in the house that are actually shut off from the rest of the house. But because my apartment's like just one big open room essentially, with the exception of my bedroom and the bathroom. So
yeah.
Like if it was much smaller, it'd be like practically a studio.
I've stayed a couple nights in a studio apartment in Japan. That stuff's cramped.
Yeah. Now there are different size studios. Some of them actually aren't too bad. They're really not that much smaller than a one bedroom. But then some of them are. I've seen pictures of them. I'm like, geez, I couldn't imagine living in a place like that. Like I could stay the night in it. That'd be all right. But like I wouldn't want to live in one.
There's one apartment in Japan that I was watching a guy do a video on. It's so small. There's a spot in the floor that you lift up, and it's your refrigerator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has one of the floor refrigerators. Yeah. It's not like a cold fridge, so it's good like maybe for some vegetables or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's in the floor.
Some people like living in places like that. They have a very minimalist mentality about things like that. Yeah. But and I say that I wouldn't want to live in a place like that. I would be fine. Like, it's just when I'm actually picking and choosing, I'm like, that wouldn't be my first pick, you know?
Well, I'd be fine if I wasn't for the fact that I'm 6'4".
Yeah.
Mine is just my height. I wouldn't be able to walk to that place.
Yeah.
Those places, I'd be hunched over or cramped inwards. But yeah, it wouldn't bother me in the end because I mean, heck, we've talked about it. Like, if my wife ever left me or whatever, I'm just becoming a van lifer,
Yeah.
and that's small space.
Yeah. Well, that would be smaller than a studio. Yeah. You get more freedom though than a studio because at least you can drive around to other places.
Yeah, because my house is.
Yeah. It would like it's mobile. You can go down the road.
Yeah, and go. Thing is, the cooler thing about it is you can go grocery shopping and you're put it right up and then drive off somewhere.
Yeah.
Not to worry about I'm gonna go grocery shopping after I do this, this, and this. You can just get the grocery shopping done and then go have fun.
I've considered doing that before. I just don't think I would like that. After past a few months, I think I would just start to become miserable. So, because I think about things like taking a shower, which I know you could just get like a gym membership and shower there, or they have those showers at like truck stop and stuff. Or if you knew somebody that lived in the area and just borrow their shower, I guess. But it's just like that. It's an inconvenience that I just wouldn't want to deal with. So every day like that.
Well, you can actually. There are designs to have a shower in them.
Yeah.
And all you do is there's a place, one of the campgrounds here for campers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $300 a month permanent parking
Yeah.
for permanent resident. That's what one of our truck drivers do.
Oh wow.
That's how him and his wife lives.
It just and that's another problem. Once you start getting into expenses like that, to me, if I would only really be saving like maybe a couple $100 a month, and to me, it just wouldn't be worth it. So I'm just like I'm keeping myself in this van to save like $300 a month. To me, it just doesn't feel like make it worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me.
Well, I mean, you could always get a big ass RV and just have a small car.
If I had, I guess I could do that. But
you could have the full size you'd want, and for cheaper.
Yeah, I could live in an RV. That would be okay. Again, wouldn't be my first pick, but I could do it.
There's actually a company that built an RV that has a spot that's big enough to park a smart car.
Oh, really?
They built a smart car garage add on to it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I could see that.
Like, that would be cool if I could fit in a smart car.
Yeah. What would be your opinion on living in a mansion? Because this is something I've debated with people a couple of times. Because me, like personally, I mean, I wouldn't be against owning a nice house. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like literally like an open like house like that's got like 7+ rooms and it's a mansion. Like I don't think I would want to live in a mansion because it just feels like first of all it just feel like wasted space because it's like I'm having like so much of this house that like I'm not even using really. And also like if your bed depending on where the location of your bedroom is, it's like it just feels so inconvenient. Like I gotta walk all the way out of my way every time I go to the bathroom or the bedroom. And it's just like I don't know. But
well,
I've heard some people.
If you got a mansion, you have an attached bathroom.
Yeah, well, I get that. I'm just talking about like let's say I'm in the kitchen, so I'm downstairs or whatever, and so then I got to go leave the kitchen. I got to go through this big old foyer walkway, most likely, to go up to the stairs, climb these stairs, and then I go down the hallway up to my. I don't know. It just feels, and I got to do that every time. Like I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, no, you don't have to do it every time. What it is those places you have a bathroom that is just a bathroom that's nearby everything else.
Well, I'm not talking about going to the bathroom. I'm talking about going to bed.
I mean, I had no problem with that walk just to go to bed.
I wouldn't want to do it. Plus, I'm one of those people that go in my bedroom like multiple times a day. So,
Uh, well, the thing is for me, if I was to ever get a mansion, it'd
yeah.
because my wife are going to have a decent sized family. Plus, I have friends that are going to move in.
Yeah, the only reason why I would have a mansion is if I had like gatherings or something all the time. Then that would make sense for the extra space. That's actually the reason why mansions were invented in the first place. The concept of a huge house like that, because people used to not have huge houses like that, but people started having gatherings at their home, so it made sense. But now in modern day times, even for people that don't do that, they still want a huge house, I guess, to show off. I don't know. And
Well, for me, it'd
I'm
be
not against,
if I
like
was
me, I would rather own a really, really like nice condo if I had like a lot of money or something. That would be my preference because it would be a nice small space. That's all I want. But there's also enough space to put, for people to come over, and I have extra stuff and all that good thing. And it's a nice place to live, and probably would even have like you could even probably have an outdoor patio for like maybe like a jacuzzi or something like I could do, you could have
yeah,
quite a bit of stuff in just a really nice condo. So that would be my preference, but I understand everybody's different. So.
yeah, like I said, for me, I would buy a mansion if I had like me, my wife, we were going to have 2 to 3 kids, plus my buddy Jay and his girlfriend and all
Yeah,
that. And if I was going to have a bunch of people living together, I'd want a mansion.
yeah. I wouldn't want a bunch of people living at my house. So, but if they were coming over to visit a lot, now that would make more sense. But I would not just because I had a mansion, I wouldn't just let tons of people come over and live in my house. So
I would.
unless the only people I'd let live with me are like maybe inner family, like kids or something, or siblings. So I wouldn't go outside of that. So I'd be like, no, you're not living here.
Yeah, for me, if you're at a certain point, some of my friend, like me and Jay, we're basically might as well be brothers.
Yeah,
I mean, 2 decades of being friends, so
yeah.
that's why Jay is on the list. But no, like,
Well, the problem
I
is
mean,
then their family comes with them too, and I wouldn't want those people there. Wouldn't have a problem with the person you're really, really good friends with, but it's like, well, then of course they're gonna have their wife and their kids, and yeah,
well, Jay, I don't think he's ever going to have a kid. He
yeah.
doesn't. He's not. He's one
I
of those
just,
back and
yeah.
forth.
I mean, like hypothetically, but yeah,
Well, I'm also friends with his girlfriend somewhat. So, and for me, a mansion is big enough. If I get tired of him, go to your fucking end.
yeah,
Like you don't even have to see each other for days, and you're in the same house.
yeah. I couldn't do it.
I'd have to, for me, to have roommates or something. I want a bigger house because I'm the type of person. If I don't want to see you, I want you on your end and leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, but on average, if it's just me for me and my wife, I'm happy with the house the size that we got now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just went.
It's interesting people's point of view though on house sizes, but yeah, that's just my preference. I would prefer that small to medium sized space. So,
Yeah.
like if like I like the size of my apartment. If I had like one extra bedroom, to me that would be almost perfect. So, like
Yeah.
size wise. So, because like I wish I had 2 bedrooms, but I have 1 bedroom. But that's because that's pretty much all I can afford right now. So,
Yeah. Nah.
but yeah, 2 bedroom condo with a balcony and a jacuzzi outside. Oh yeah, that where I could look at the ocean just as I'm sitting over the jacuzzi, holding a pina colada. That'd be perfect. I love how detailed I got with that picture.
Why Piña Colada?
I don't know. I'm just being silly, but yeah, it doesn't have to be a pina colada. It could just be any drink. So any
Like,
drink I
Piña
like.
Colada is good, but why Piña Colada?
I had ocean on my mind, so I was like, oh well, pina colada. So got to get that in there, or a margarita maybe. I don't
Margaritas are good.
Oh, excuse me. Geez,
My wife makes a baller margarita.
I've never had one.
Oh, they're good. They're made right, anyways.
I wouldn't know if they were right or wrong. I'd take a sip, be like, "Yep, this could be right. I don't know."
Yeah. Well, the made right is like to your preference, because some people like a heavier handed alcoholic margarita. Some people like more of a sour margarita, like lime margaritas. Some people like a sweeter margarita.
Yeah.
And each, you're the type of person that likes alcohol with a little bit of other flavors, or you're the person that likes a little bit of alcohol with a lot of flavor.
I would probably prefer it that way. Yeah, a lot of flavor with just a little bit of alcohol.
Those are dangerous to me. People are like, no, it's not that dangerous because, you don't get as much alcohol. I'm like, no, but you drank a shit ton more.
No. All alcoholic drinks, I cut myself off after 2 drinks. I'm like, that's enough. I don't need any more. I actually have no idea what it feels like to be drunk. So
I can't say that. Oh. Hell, this was 10 years ago ish.
yeah.
I'd be drunk on the podcast.
You drunk on the podcast?
No, I said this was 10 years ago ish. I would probably be even drunk.
Oh, you would be
every time
drunk.
I'm on the podcast.
Yeah. I've listened to a lot of podcasts where some of the podcasters have admitted to drinking a lot while they do the podcast. And by the end of it, you can tell they start kind of slurring their words a little bit. I'm like, yep, you've had a little bit too much to drink.
The thing is, I slur my words too much when I'm sober. I don't need to add that to it.
Yeah. You're just constantly drunk with your speech.
Yeah. I swear to junk, I'm not God, officer.
I wonder what margarita would taste like in a can. I don't know why that thought just popped in my head.
I can't remember what my wife was telling me, but there's a drink or food or item. If you eat it, you consume it, it'll act register on a breathalyzer. Like if you were drunk. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But there's something, either drink or food item, if you consume it and blow into a breathalyzer, it will register like you're alcoholic.
Oh, wow. I'll have to try that sometime and get myself pulled over. That way I can get arrested.
You would not do well behind bars.
I would do excellent in there.
Bullshit.
Why do you think I would do bad behind bars?
Could you be someone's bitch?
Maybe I want to be someone's biatch.
I mean,
that's been my long dream for you.
Bro, if you want to be someone's bitch, just go to Reddit. There's a whole fucking page for people who want aggressive boys. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have to check that out here after we're done.
Dude, there's a whole Reddit page called Arkansas Poly Group.
I don't know what that is.
Polyamorous.
Polyamorous.
People that are together have extra boyfriends and girlfriends.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want that. But
there's also Arkansas Sex Group where people are posting nude pics wanting to hook up with people.
Wow, you've been busy online.
I found that out by my cousin, and I had to double check his facts. And yeah,
cousin, put that in quotes.
On a different note, you know the song "Teenage Dream" by Katy Perry?
Yeah.
For some reason, I've been obsessed with listening to the cover of it by Boyce Avenue.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's a 13-year video. It's got 29 million views. But it's a male cover of the song, and he does it phenomenally. It's just him singing it with a piano.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a male cover of every single Katy Perry song.
Well, because like you could easily alter certain ones of her things to Because there's some songs you can't alter hers to make a male version of it very easily. It's just a guy singing the exact lyrics.
Yeah.
But no, he's actually singing it like from a guy's perspective of what she would have been saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like instead of saying whatever about the it got your heart racing in the skin tight jean. Yeah, be my teenage dream tonight.
Yeah.
Goes, you can put your head on me if that's what you need in this teenage dream tonight. I'll get your heart racing if that's what you need in this teenage dream tonight. So he cuts that bit up and takes, of course, out the tight jeans and puts, lay your head on me if that's what you need. And then I'll get your heart racing if that's what you need. So he slips up and like in the beginning, it's I think you're pretty without any makeup on. Instead of you think I'm pretty.
Yeah.
He goes, I think you're pretty. And then of course he keeps the think you're funny when you tell the punchline wrong.
There's the joke. You really stole the election.
So he actually like pieces it the main like the chorus is still the same.
Yeah.
But the rest of it he alters to match a male version. He does the same with her One That Got Away as well.
One That Got Away.
Yeah, I think it's a Katy Perry, isn't it?
I don't even know what song that is.
I don't remember.
One That Got Away.
The One That Got Away, Katy Perry. Yeah. You know, that's 12 years old is the video. So, dang, that one's got 31 million views. He also did a male cover of Someone Like You by Adele and Set Fire to the Rain. Someone Like You has got fucking 80 million views.
Nice.
He did 1,000 Years by cover of Christina Perry's 1,000 Years. I don't know why I said it like that. Now that one's got 152 million views. God. It's weird seeing some of these YouTube videos with like double-digit millions and triple-digit millions all the way up.
Yeah.
Just like, ugh.
Yeah, there's some songs that people that will swear that are the were purposely done as like the male or female counterparts to the other song. Now it's not the same song like what you were describing. Like it's a different song, but it's telling it from the other person's perspective. And now they're not these songs do not claim to be the other versions, but there's people that swear that they do this on purpose. I can't remember all the examples of songs, but I do remember two songs as one example. I can't remember the others, but they're both country songs. I don't know if you know the song by Bye Bye by Jody Messia, is that her name? Where she she's basically breaking up with her boyfriend or husband or whatever, and she's leaving and driving and leaving him there. Well, there's another country song by Colin Ray, and he's called My Little Red Rodeo, talking about a redhead girl that leaves him behind, and it talks about how he misses her through the whole song, and people swear that that's that's his version, and like those songs are the counterpart to each other. And I was like, it makes sense, but as far as I know, that's not actually true. But
well, it's like Bruno Mars, If I Was Your Man.
Yeah.
I can buy you flowers and hold your hand.
Does that song have a counterpart song?
What?
Does that song have a counterpart song?
Yeah, I think it's Miley Cyrus did it.
Uh-huh.
And in the song, she goes, "I can buy myself my own flowers,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
my own hand,
Talk to myself for hours.
talk to myself for hours."
Yeah. Can hold my own hand. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's actually came out and said it's not,
Right.
but
Yeah.
she's like, I utilize those things, but it's not supposed to mean anything to Bruno Mars.
Right. Right.
But people are like, sure.
It is fair to say those are all pretty standard things that people do when they're dating somebody. But yeah, I mean, it's most likely people just looking for something that isn't there. But yeah, it is interesting though when people put those two and two together. I find that kind of fascinating. I was like, oh yeah, they actually do feel like they could be songs that could be the other person singing their side of the
There's a few
story.
songs that are like that, and people use them as counter songs to others. Like, I've had a friend that this girl dumped him and was using these song lyrics or whatever, and he countered with a song that was basically the opposite for Mel's perspective, talking back at it.
Yeah.
Like, this man was ready to fire. There's songs for every situation, whether you're male or female, whether it's a breakup, a new love, depression, whatever. So you just have to find the right song to counterbalance the song being used against you. Like, one of my favorites is, Michael John, "I'm Still Standing."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because that's almost a perfect counter song to almost anything a woman can send to a guy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I'm still standing. I'm just fine without your ass. Now, that song right there is good to piss off a woman who dumped you.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people. I mean, in general, male or female, that like that when they dump someone,
Mhm.
they want to destroy them when they dump them.
Right. They want them to feel bad. Yeah.
So when you fight against them with a song like "I'm Still Standing," I mean, I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's telling them, whatever, you didn't fuck me. I'm good. I found my own shit. Fuck you. And that's a good way to piss off anybody you've ever been in a relationship with that is that type of person that dates people and fucking destroys them when they leave them just because they get the enjoyment out of, you needed me. I never needed you.
Yeah.
I only dated you just to give you something. You were lucky to date me, not a person. But you fight back with, truthfully, I did need you. I only dated you because, well, I did think you were cool. Now you're just a dick. Yeah. That's how you do it. You don't get heartbroken, nothing. Just, all right, you want to be a dick? It takes two to tango, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So always have a counter song in your back pocket.
Oh, people should have that ready, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Always have it ready.
Like, just create tons of playlists on your YouTube channel. Like, okay, this will be for this situation. This will be a counter song for this situation.
Yeah. Because when you do that, I mean, for one thing, the song could help you move on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've listened to songs before to help me move on from something.
So just kind of do a thing to. Because honestly, when did that become like a big thing? Like, I'm trying to remember in my head when people really started being big on like using song lyrics to dump another person.
I don't know. Probably right around the same time that. Yeah, because, back in the day, it used to be more about the love songs. Now it's like so many songs are mostly breakup songs.
Yeah, it's
But
weird.
of course, there have been breakup songs for decades, but they're just very, very common nowadays. So.
I mean, breaking
It's
up nowadays is more common of a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Shawn Mendes, I think who it was, he admitted that, because he has so many breakup songs, and people were like, wow, have you broken up a lot? And he admitted at that time, of course, that was years ago. I'm pretty sure he's been in a relationship now, but he admitted at that time, he's like, oh, I've never even been in a relationship before. And he's writing all these breakup songs.
Because, I mean, that's the market right there.
Yeah. I found that pretty funny when he said that. I was like, nice.
Like, the big market is breakup songs, the biggest market, in my opinion, probably are breakup songs or new crush songs.
Oh, yeah. Having a crush on someone you can't have. Yeah. They're just very relatable situations, I guess.
I mean, one of the biggest ones I know growing up in the country side of it is, it just popped in my head, was, I got a brand new girlfriend.
I heard that song. It's so long.
Got the deep end. Make me feel like a kid again.
Spent the whole week lying on the beach, wearing nothing but a smile, playing kissy, kissy, smoochy, smoochy, talking mushy, mushy about nothing. Yeah. I went right into it. Yeah.
That whole video makes me laugh because the whole time it's showing his ex, he's running around with a blow-up doll.
Yeah. I remember that video, yeah.
It was such a stupid video.
Oh, yeah. It was really over the top, too, but it was supposed to be. So.
But, I mean, songs like that and breakup songs, they are the biggest market. And then you have, right below them would have to be like depression songs.
Yeah.
And then next to that would be rage songs.
Rage songs. Yeah. Sometimes breakup songs and rage songs are kind of one and the same, too. So.
Yeah. There's some very hateful breakup songs.
Yeah. Who is that All American Rejects that Gives You Hell song? That song I didn't think that song would ever stop coming on the radio when it came out. I was like, geez, this song is popular.
Now where's your picket fence, love? And where's that shiny car? Did it ever get you far? This is why I'm a security guard and not a singer. But, well, yeah. Or, of course, you can go back before that slightly. Hate Everything About You by 3 Days Grace.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was sitting there trying to think that title sounds familiar. What is the... I'm like, oh, yeah. That song's actually technically talking about living in an abusive home, but yeah, I could see people applying that to a relationship.
Has more. So in that music video, it shows a broken home. It shows relationship. It shows, like, when he made that song and in the video, he covered everything that could be for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always preferred Home. This house is not a home. That song would always, when I was a teenager, man, I would like get way too wild when I'd listen to that song. I was all going all out.
Oh. Think that they had a lot of rage songs, whether it be for breakup, family relationships, or like, if you watch the video of, I know the lyrics, but I'm trying to remember what the exact name is. Even if I say it'll be alright.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's from their second album. That song is actually, he wrote that song about his wife at the time. They're divorced now, but his wife at the time, she grew up being, from my understanding, she was being molested by one of her babysitters or something, and he wrote that song about that. So.
Yeah, that's why in the video it's about the little girl and she was being molested in the video.
Yeah.
The show's an attacker in the video.
Yeah. Actually, and his wife at the time when they were together, she wrote part of the lyrics to The Animal I've Become. Now he wrote the chorus, I think, when he was in rehab, because he had addiction to drugs. And then she wrote some of the verses and stuff like that when he got out of rehab, talking about his addiction in the song. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So.
Yeah. 3 Days Grace, like, they had some great things in their lyrics.
Yeah.
I love it when bands attack real life stuff.
Yeah. It always,
like, I like what we're talking about, your typical breakup songs or new relationship songs, but
yeah.
I like the realism more in some songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it when songs aren't afraid to talk about like that everyday life, personal stuff outside of like relationships. That sometimes you can almost feel even more emotion from the song when they talk about stuff like that, like an addiction to something. Like maybe you don't have an addiction to drugs, but you could apply that song to something else. Maybe you have an addiction with that you're trying to get over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like and the funny thing is, and it also can depend on the singer sometimes, because you have famous singers that cover other famous singer songs.
Yeah.
Because like the song Hurt Myself or Hurt, whatever.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, I think it is, when they originally done it, they done it on a view of a young man going through addictions.
Yeah.
And dealing with an everyday addiction. And then when Johnny Cash covered it, it was all about how his life was. The stupid, the shit he put himself and his first and second wife.
Yeah.
And kids, they're like, he put a lot of people through shit because, his drug addictions, his all this.
Yeah.
And when Limp Bizkit seen that, they're like, you know what? My song worked better that way. It's no longer our song, it's Johnny Cash's song.
Yeah, I'd heard that before, that when they heard his version, they admitted his was like the definitive version. I was like, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Because it was more.
I think both versions are great, but I can totally see from their point of view why they see it that way. Yeah.
They see it as it was more impactful for someone who had already went through it and come out of it and looking back and all the regret of it.
Yeah.
Than being viewed as someone who's still going through it.
Yeah.
Because when you're still going through it, you have less regret of what you're doing currently.
Yeah.
Because you're drugged up or whatever, you have less mental thoughts on it. But once you come out on the other side, you've made it through, and you see all the destruction and stuff you fucked up your life with and others, that's when the regret and the remorse and all of it fully hits you. The weight of what you were doing fully hits you. So there's a lot more pain and sorrow and emotion behind that thought process.
Yeah. And you can always tell the difference too when you hear the singer sing the song. You can just feel that passion and stuff behind their voice, when you can tell, oh, this song is very personal to them. This is not just some song that someone else wrote for them and they're just singing into a microphone. Like this means something to them. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Like the song because Gotta Love Them, Rest in Peace, Linkin Park.
Yeah.
The song One More Light kind of hits hard after his death.
Yeah.
After Chad's death, because it literally starts out, should have stayed, were the signs I ignored. Can I help you not to hurt anymore?
Yeah.
So, clearly he was hurting inside, and no one was able to help him to the point he committed suicide. Even though he had great friends and a loving wife and kids, there was just something so dark in him that he couldn't get over. And the songs that he's made, if you start listening through them, you can start piecing together his thought process. And he done a song, I can't remember what the female singer he's with them called, the song's called Heavy.
Yeah.
And it's heavy. It starts out like, I don't like my mind right now. Stacking up problems that are so unnecessary. Wish that I could slow things down. I want to let go, but there's comfort in the panic.
Yeah. Sounds like a song I would have wrote when I was depressed. A lot of my songs were talking about mostly internal things because I was depressed. So that's what I talked about in the songs. So. But yeah.
Next line is just, and I drive myself crazy because I can't escape this gravity.
Yeah.
And I drive myself crazy thinking everything's about me. I'm holding on. Why is everything so heavy?
I got like this bump on my forehead. I can't figure out what it is. So I know that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but just
completely random. We're talking about depression songs. All of a sudden, I got a weird bump.
That's my middle name, random. You're over here talking about the serious stuff, and I'm like, there's like a bump on my forehead. Like, okay. I don't know. I only really like 2 songs by Linkin Park, so I liked What I've Done is a pretty good song. And I also like, what is the name of that song? Break It Back Down, Building It Up to Break It Back Down, something like that. I like those 2 songs. Other than that, I was never the biggest fan of their library. So.
I've always loved Linkin Park.
Yeah, I remember when they first got popular when I was like a preteen, and I just never could really get into them. So I was just like, eh. So I was never a big fan of Chester's like screamo voice. His singing voice is not bad, really. It's pretty good. But his screamo voice, he is too nasally for me. I can't hardly stand it. So. I was like, no offense to Linkin Park fans, but yeah, just couldn't get into it. But that's probably the reason why I like those 2 songs, because he does little to no screamo in those songs. I think there's a couple other songs he doesn't, but it's probably just because maybe the song just didn't hit me or whatever, so I didn't like him as much.
Yeah, you might have to go through their library now as an adult and try some of the ones that doesn't have the screaming as much.
Yeah.
That might be like where you'd find what that you like more than just 2 of their songs. But most of them don't stick out to me in that. Like there's only a few that really like sticks out with the emotion because it really they can make an emotional song feel extra emotional.
Yeah.
That's actually a hard talent to have because like Akon's Lonely, it's supposed to be a depressing song, but it's just comical to me.
Yeah. I think I've said that before, but I just never could take that song super seriously because of the silly voice.
Yeah. And then you got, Disturbed with some of their songs. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that's he's talking about suicides.
I don't know if I know that one.
Yeah, there's a song that he did that is, I can't fully remember the story behind why he did it, but the video shows his character in the video coming home, and his wife has hung herself.
Oh, wow.
And so it's all about that. And then at the end of it, he's got everything for, all the suicide hotlines and all that. So it was something that had to have hit him hard, so he made the song. I think of it. God, it's been so long since I've actually listened to Disturbed.
Huh. That's probably one of those bands. If I heard some of their songs, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know that song. I know that song." Just didn't really know who the band was, you know. So there's quite a few bands and singers in general, really, that I'm like that with. Where I'm like, "Yeah, I know those songs, but I just didn't know who sung them." So
Yeah, I mean, Disturbed and a few bands like that are ones that you've heard the song, you can pretty much tell that it was this band.
right.
It's Inside the Fire. That's the song I'm talking about with Disturbed.
Yeah, I might know the song. I don't know if I know it by the title.
I can't sing a Disturbed song, so I can't get close.
Come on, sing it, sing it, sing it.
That's a good way to destroy your throat if you're not prepared to sing songs.
Yeah.
Because I can do Sound of Silence because I can just drop down in my deep back down my deep voice, but I can do their cover of that because it's easy. But I couldn't do when they're more yelling loud or ground songs.
Yeah.
Not with the fact that I can barely breathe out of one nostril.
You just keep dishing out excuse after excuse.
Uh-huh.
Next thing you're gonna say, well, and I also have this hangnail, and sometimes it hurts when I try to sing loud. And,
No, that makes no sense.
does it
No,
not?
it's more of I have a toothache.
There you go. I was just like something really ridiculous, like that one time where I tried to convince you I couldn't do my job because something about my elbow was doing some weird clapping thing. And that's when you were just like, whatever, and closed the door and just left. I started laughing so hard when he did that. I was like, I would do that, but like my elbow's doing this weird clapping thing, and it's and you're like,
yeah,
oh my
some of you like stupid, like little just ease excuses you do.
yeah,
I just gotta walk out of the garbage check and go ahead and go home because I know if I stay any longer, it's just gonna continue.
oh yeah. Once I get started on crap like that, it's hard to get me to stop. But yeah, anyway, we're pretty much out of time for the podcast. So, but we do appreciate you listening. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel though, because we do have a YouTube channel now. So if you want to listen to it on there, and I think that's about it. You have anything else to add, Eric?
No, watch on YouTube if you like it. Please subscribe and like. I guess the typical YouTube bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's if you just want to watch it and just check our stupidity out, yeah, that's fine too. Because I mean, we're just having fun here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
that's all I got for now.
yep.
All right, see you all in the next one. Bye.